All right, this is part two, guys. Yeah, and that's how you know Ivan O'Mara is a saint, whereas Victoria Justice is just a crazy woman, and she's a whore, and she's a total opposite of me. She's crazy, man. She's crazy. And even as I make this video, and you watch, and you're gonna watch it in a couple hours now, VJ. All of this is gonna brush by you. You're not gonna listen. You're gonna keep crying to me every night and annoy my sleep. You don't even care that I can't even sleep, VJ, at night, man. Ivan, I don't care that you can't sleep because I'm selfish. I see hell. Because I see hell every night. I want Ivan to have a to have a I want to ruin Ivan's sleep too. I'm gonna cry to him every night and annoy his sleep. You know what I'm saying? And as I say these words, VJ, and I'm sincerely asking you to let me have a peaceful sleep, you won't listen. You're gonna keep crying. You just keep crying harder, and you say, "I love you, I love you." You keep crying. You know what I'm saying. And then while you do that, you keep all those men's number and you keep texting them and you keep going to their house and fucking them. And she even posts pictures on Twitter. Last night was fun. You know what I'm saying? About last night, she's like, you have this like love sign. Yeah, I guarantee when VJ says that, she's talking about those men that she fucks, obviously, during the week. She's crazy, man. And then you cry to me at night and say you love me. Like, VJ, what game are you playing here, man? What fucked up, twisted game of love are you playing with me, man? Ivan, I love you, but I like these men. I love them too, man. I love them. So you're selfish, obviously. You want your full cake. You're hence why VJ is obviously a crazy woman. I'm gonna say this bad word one time. VJ is obviously a crazy bitch. Yeah, man. She's crazy, man. She's a crazy woman. Yeah, man. Anyways, let me talk about Sky Source. So once I plan Sky Source with Rodriguez, we're gonna plan that Gran Turismo property in Vancouver, obviously. Something like Gran Turismo for my property, obviously. I'm gonna build my studio office, and I'm gonna build my what? I'm gonna build my special effects unit building. And George Lewis will help me plan out the interior and exterior of the special effects team building. As well, you can have him help you with the studio office too. And for the property of land, I'm thinking something like Gran Turismo. Tell them, okay, I want him to be something like Gran Turismo for my property of land. And then they asked me, okay, Ivan, how much money do you want to put towards all this building project? Okay, I want to put a good $100 million, $120 million towards this project. And I put a good $120 million towards the project. 30 million towards the studio office, another like 3 million towards the parking lot, another like $300,000 towards the sign, cutting down all the trees, the landscaping, you know what I'm saying, the gardening work, the lighting, the lights. Remember those beautiful lights at night? Yeah. Building the dock for the jet, building the dock for the yacht. And I might build other buildings on my land too. See what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. Guys, I want it to be exactly like this. Exactly, Ivan. Yes, like 90 like 5% similar, guys. 90% similar. I want it to be exactly like this. Okay, Ivan, we can do that for you. And the architects design the interior of my land, and they build this beautiful property of land in Vancouver. Yeah, you get a beautiful view of the mountains. Yeah, man, something beautiful. Something beautiful. Yeah, man. Let's talk about the script developers. So here are my top candidates, guys. My top candidates are Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, the Russo brothers, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, Ryan Coogler, James Gunn, Zack Snyder. Those are like my top candidates for my script developers. And they will be the CEOs of my company. They're going to be my co-writers, my movie, but they're also going to be my co-CEOs for my company. I can have them be the president of my company or the co-CEOs. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously. So Jon Favreau want to pay him $34 million signing bonus. Obviously, $6.8 million yearly salary, $3.5 million yearly salary, a $250,000 bonus, obviously, post-filming bonus, and I'm willing to pay him $250K for the re-release, for all the releases. So in a good like 20 years, the 5 movies would have been released a good 2 times each. And Jon Favreau would probably collect a good maybe 2.5 million, 3 million in royalties for the releases. That's a good paycheck for John, obviously. It's a nice paycheck for Jon Favreau, obviously. And Dave Filoni, I'm willing to give Jon Favreau 0.2% of the film profits, obviously. And he doesn't get squaw off the merch. I'm not giving him. He might ask for a piece of merch like John. I'm not going to give you a piece of the merch. You're not worth it, man. Only the actors get a piece of the merch. because they're my stars. Whereas you're not my star. You're my fucking CEO. I'm not gonna give you a piece of the merch. You're not featured on the merch. I'm not gonna give you a piece of the merch. Obviously, I'll give him 0.2% if the movie does 76 billion or less. So if 1.1 billion people buy it or less, he gets his 0.2%, which is like $100 million in royalties for Jon Favreau, around there. And if the movie does like 200, 180, 190, he gets 0.1. He'll still make his 80, 90, $100 million in royalties, John. John almost like he make his 88, 95, 100 million in royalties, excluding his bonuses and his salary that he made. And if John gets greedy and he gets angry about that conditional deal, I'm like, John, if you don't like my offer, you're more than welcome to work in Mandalorian if you don't like my offer. Or I can just pay you your flat salary and your flat sign bonus if you don't like my royalty deal. I'm nice to give you a piece of royalties. This is a good Ivan. This is a deal. I give you a good deal, John. And Dave Filoni, I'll pay him $15 million signing bonus, a $2.1 million yearly salary. He's not that big. I won't pay him as much. Pay him a flat $15 million signing bonus for all my 5 movies. I'm not giving him a raise. And he gets his $2.1 million yearly salary. And then I'll give them $100,000 raises for their yearly salary. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, all members of my 7 team. It's a good deal for them. $250 post-flow bonus, $2,000 gift card, $300 gas card, commercial money. I forgot to mention that. You know what I'm saying? The royalty check, $250K royalty check, and I'll give Dave Filoni 0.1% of the profits. Dave Filoni will make his nice $55 million in royalties if the movie does $176 billion or less. If it does 180, 190, 200, he gets 0.07. He'll still make his $38, $40 million in royalties. $45, $44 million in royalties, Dave Filoni. So I'm saying, it's a nice paycheck for a CEO of my company, obviously. Because of the boss of your company, you gotta pay him a lot of money. But don't let them dupe you. You know what I'm saying? So Dave Filoni makes $39 million, $38 million in royalties with his $22 million he made for the 4 years. He's gonna walk away with a $30 million check on his bank after tax. It's a lot of money for Dave. He's $30 million richer. It's a good paycheck. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money. Yeah. It's a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? But Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are my 2 top candidates. Well, I might perhaps choose Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams. You never know. You also have Ryan Coogler. Did I mention Ryan Coogler? Yeah, I did mention Ryan Coogler, yeah. He's a top candidate for me too, obviously. Right? And then J.J. Abrams, I'll pay him I'll pay him $42 million signing bonus. That's good enough for him. $8 million yearly salary and $4 million yearly salary for his yearly salary. He gets his $250K post-filming bonus, his $250K royalty checks, obviously, and he gets his commercial money, and he gets his $2,000 gift card, $300 gas. So he gets the perks, luxury buffet, flown on my private jet, piling up my $300 million condo and my yacht, working in my nice. He'll have his own studio office, the Grant Mills property. You know what I'm saying? The perks of that, obviously, the speaking experience for the world tour. If I go on the world tour, yeah, a lot of good perks, obviously. Luxury buffet during filming for the 3rd year and 4th year. Yeah, good perks. J.J. Abrams, obviously. It's a good deal for him. And I'll give him 0. I'll match his royalty amount with John. I'll give him. J.J. Abrams is worth how much? He's worth $350 million? I heard $300 million around there. Yeah, give him 0.2. That's good enough. Give J.J. Abrams 0.2% of the profits, and if the same deal as John, he gets 0.2% of the profits. So it's $100 million in royalties around there for J.J. Abrams. 110, 100, $95 million in royalties. If the movie does $176 billion or less, if it does more, he gets 0.1. And he'll still make his 80, 90, $100 million in royalties. If the movie does $220 billion, I give J.J. Abrams 0.1, it balances it out. He'll still make his $100 million. That way they don't dupe you. And he gets greedy. I'm like, why are you making such a big deal out of 0.2? I'm like, JJ, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you walk away with $150, $200 of my money. You're fucking crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Warner Bros. May be crazy, J.J. Abrams, to overpay you that crazy, I don't know, $250, $500 million contract after your Star Wars mess up, obviously. Yeah, they may be stupid to pay that money. If you think I'm going to be stupid, J.J. Abrams, to pay you what? To pay you something crazy like that, you're fucking crazy. I'm not going to pay you that, man. Because J.J. Abrams is greedy, he might demand something crazy like that. Ivan, what if I get a nice $400 million, a flat $400 million of your profits, Ivan? Forget the 0.2 deal. Just give me a $300 million deal, Ivan. I'm like, JJ, you're not Peter Jackson. I'm not going to give you that kind of money. You're fucking crazy, man. $100 million is good enough. You don't even make this in Hollywood. Yeah, you signed your big deal for Warner Bros., but besides that, you'll never make that kind of money in Hollywood, JJ. You're being greedy. I'm not gonna pay you that, man. Because JJ Abrams is a greedy animal, he might demand like a $200 million in royalties. I'm like, JJ, I'm not gonna pay you that. You're fucking crazy. If he gets angry, I'm like, JJ, if you're angry and you don't want the CEO job of my company, be the boss of my company, you're more than welcome to work in Hollywood, be a dirty slave, and make less money, man. You know what I'm saying? Work in that shittier $100 million budget, be the side attention, go on that feeling meaningless world tour. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to speak for free at the world tour. Whereas for my company, I'm gonna charge it. You're gonna make your nice money in speaking earnings. Your nice 150, 200, 250K, even 300K in speaking earnings. You're gonna be flying on my nice like high end like GPS advanced jet, like Incredibles. If you don't want those perks and the luxury buffet, being featured on the red carpet with me at the Bergerac Resort, the luxurious hotel, the crazy worldwide buzz of my movie. You know what I'm saying? You're more than welcome. You know, being featured on the actors with me, the professional actors, even better in Hollywood. You're more than welcome to what? Work in Hollywood and make less money and work in work in the what? Work in Hollywood. You know, however, I have it as a deal. Yeah, I give you a good deal. Rian Johnson, I'm gonna have to what? I'm gonna have to look at his updates on Wikipedia or how much he's worth, obviously. Because Rian Johnson, he signed his $500 million deal with Netflix, but yeah, I checked on Wikipedia, he's still only worth like $25 million. So chances are that $500 million deal has not taken effect yet. You know what I'm saying? Or the $500 million deal is probably not all salary. Some of it's salary, some of it's perks, some of it's budget for the movie mark. But it's probably something like that for his contract. Rian Johnson's contract, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm actually just saying yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so Rian Johnson, I'll pay him. It just depends how much. I don't know. If by 2026, 2027, Rian Johnson is worth like $100 million, so his net worth skyrocket. I'll pay him the Jon Favreau deal, the same exact deal. So I'm saying $30 million signing bonus, 6.8 million yearly salary, 3.5 million yearly salary, and I'll give him 0.2% of profits. If he's worth less, if he's worth maybe $60 million, I'll pay him like a 20, like I don't know, 20 like $5 million signing bonus, and I'll pay him like a 4.5 million yearly salary around there. And then the other years I'll pay him like 2.8 million yearly salary, and he gets his $250,000 royalty check, and I'll give him 0.1% of the profits. Nice, like $60 million in royalties. It's a good deal for Rian Johnson. And if the movie does less, he gets 0.07. If he gets greedy, I'm like, Ryan, you're getting greedy. I'm not going to pay you like 0.2% of the profits, 0.2. You're not worth it, man. The only way I'll pay Rian Johnson 0.2 is if he's worth like 100 plus million. If he's worth under that, I'm going to pay him 0.1. I'm not going to do him like that, man. Ryan, you're being greedy. I'm not going to pay you that. I'm not going to pay that, Ryan. You're being greedy. If you don't want the CEO job of my company, Ryan, you're more than welcome to work in Hall and be a dirty slave. You can go back to working in Netflix for your Knives Out movie trilogy if you want. You'll make a lot of money, obviously, but you're going to go back to being a dirty slave and being the side attention. See what I'm saying? I'm going to keep saying this. Hollywood is not Skyscraper. Skyscraper, you're looking at something unheard of my company. You guys already know. You can see the future. Skyscraper will be better than even Hollywood guys. You're looking at something like Incredibles, Gran Turismo Property. Yeah, man. There. The chances are Rian Johnson might be worth maybe $60 million, $50 million in a good like 4 or 5 years from now, around there. I don't know. 2026, I start Sky Source. Rian Johnson is worth maybe $50 million. You pay him like $25 million sign bonus, 4.5 million yearly salary, 2.7 million salary for the other years, $250,000 post-wing bonus, $2,000 gift card, commercial money. You know what I'm saying? The perks, $2,000 gift card. 250K royalty check and give him 0.1% of the profits. Good enough. A Dave Filoni, you give him a Dave Filoni royalty amount. Because Ryan's greedy, he might try. Because Ryan's greedy, he might even try and push for 0.2, 0.3. I'm like, Ryan, I'm not going to pay you that. You're being greedy. I'm not going to pay you that, man. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I want someone like Rian Johnson, because he's very, very talented. He's a very, very talented writer. He just doesn't know anything about Star Wars. He's not a Star Wars guy. He should stay far away from Star Wars. Just like me, I am talented. Obviously, I wrote a masterpiece, Last of Us, but even I'm not good for Star Wars either. If I wrote my own Star Wars movie, it probably wouldn't be that great of a movie. I'm being honest here, as I don't know that much about Star Wars. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to write a good Lord of the Rings script because I don't know that much about Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? Because guys like Rian Johnson and Peter Jackson are more intelligent than me. They're very smart people. But I'm not that intelligent, but I'm very, very creative. You guys, look, man, I gave you guys an in-depth study of my book, obviously, and I even told you some of my ideas for the Star Wars sequels I would have had. You know what I'm saying? My story for the Star Wars sequels would have been the story of Rey. You have the story of Rey. Rey, I would have had something similar like Force Awakens. She awakens in the Force, obviously. You have a build-up connection with Finn, obviously. The Stormtrooper story when he's conflicted, obviously. That's a good plot, obviously. And I would have had Kylo Ren is trained by Snoke, obviously, and Smoke like pretty much corrupted his mind. He turned him to the dark side, obviously. And Rey and Luke try to bring Kylo back to the light. In the end of the movie, Rey brings Kylo Ren back to the light when they fight, obviously, and when their lightsaber duel, obviously. And then Luke destroys Snoke in the end. And Leia, Han Solo, and Finn, they what? And Poe, they lead the resistance to fight the First Order. I wouldn't have something stupid in Rise of Skywalker where you have a bunch of fucking spaceships appearing out of nowhere in a quick time span. You have contradictions in the Star Wars universe, obviously, and you have a bunch of spaceships that Palpatine was secretly building for years. No, I wouldn't have something silly like that. I would have something more in line with the Star Wars universe. Holy shit, I'm very creative. Yes, I'm very creative. I know how to tell a good story. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You have Anakin in the third movie. You have Yoda and you have Qui-Gon Jinn. You have Anakin, you have Yoda, and you have Obi-Wan. They appear to Luke as a Force ghost. Obviously, and the reason why you have those three guys because they all have a connection with Luke. Yoda was Luke's master. Obi-Wan is what Obi-Wan saved Luke in A New Hope, and Anakin is Luke's father, who he brought back to the light side. You see what I'm saying? And Luke is granted power from all the Jedi. So you have something similar like Rise of Skywalker. I am all the Jedi. Yeah, Luke is granted power to face Kylo Ren, to face Snoke, and Snoke is granted power from all the Sith. Obviously, and you have an epic duel. What would have been your idea for the epic duel? My idea for the epic duel would have been, Luke goes to some planet and he faces Luke goes to some planet and he goes to like a Sith temple or something like that, and he faces Snoke, and you have Sith spec. He goes there by himself. He's like, the Force is with me. You know what I'm saying? The Force is with me, obviously. And Luke walks in there and he has a huge one-on-one duel with Snoke, and you have Sith spectators watching like Neo in the Matrix. You have his epic lightsaber duel, and then Rey goes and fights Kylo Ren, who is Snoke's apprentice. You know what I'm saying? And Snoke is like, weakness I sense in you, Kylo Ren. You know what I'm saying? Because Rey tried to bring him to the light side in the second movie. Yeah, and you have something like that, and Rey ends up bringing Kylo Ren to the light side in the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wouldn't have had something stupid like Rise of Skywalker, where in the end she buries her lightsaber. Obviously, she creates a yellow lightsaber. She buries her lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I am Rey Skywalker. I'm like, that was very, very cheesy and very, very silly. Like, I'm like, she's not even she's not even related to fucking Luke. You know, Ivan, she's Rey Skywalker in spirit, Ivan, in spirit. I'm like, yeah, but I found that whole thing with Rey saying I am Rey Skywalker was very, very cheesy and very, very silly, man. I told you, J.J. Abrams winged it, obviously. He had to come in and he struggled, I'm saying he did his best to try and fix Rian Johnson's debacle, obviously. He did his best to try and fix Rian Johnson's debacle for Last Jedi, and he couldn't, obviously. It was your fault, J.J. You should have what? It was your fault, J.J. It was your fault. It was your fault, J.J. It was your fault, Kathleen Kennedy. It was your fault, Rian Johnson. It was your fault, Disney, Bob Iger. You should have planned out the 3 stories. J.J. Abrams should have never given Rian Johnson the keys and say, Ryan, dude, I don't care if your story totally contradicts the first movie. Make whatever Star Wars story you want, Ryan. And Ryan's like, okay, I'll make my own Star Wars story. And you know what I'm saying? And because Rian Johnson made that video, obviously, I want to make a movie whereby I split the fan base. I'm saying half the fans hate it, half the fans love it. And Rian Johnson like deliberately did that. He pretty much predicted what he said, and he split the fan base, obviously. See what I'm saying? He's split the fan base, obviously. But I told you, Rian Johnson obviously doesn't think he did. He doesn't regret what he did, obviously, because even though a lot of fans hate it, half the fans love the movie, obviously. Half his fans love it, obviously. They thought it was a masterpiece, obviously. They're wrong. It was not a masterpiece. Oh my god. Obviously. And what? And the movie did $1.3 billion, so the movie was still successful. So Rian Johnson did achieve his purpose, obviously. His Star Wars Last of Jedi movie was still a success. It was a hit. And so all the fans who hate him is, yeah, you can hate him all you want. I don't care. My movie did $1.3 billion. It was successful, obviously. It was profitable, financial success, and half my fans love my movie. And Rian Johnson probably expected that kind of backlash because he even said in his video, I want to make a movie whereby some people say it's the best movie ever made, others say it's the worst movie ever made. Yeah, and he did that on purpose, obviously, and hence why what? Hence why you got that backlash for Last Jedi, and you got all that hate, man. You split the fan base, yeah, man. But I am not a hater, and I'm not a lover either. I'm not a hater, but I'm not a lover either. I don't love Last Jedi, but I don't hate it. I think it was an okay movie. I think it was a pretty good movie, but a bad Star Wars story. You know what I'm saying? It was a bad Star Wars story. Really, even yeah, man, it was a bad Star Wars story. You know what I'm saying? But Rian Johnson did his Knives Out movie, and I heard that movie was a masterpiece. And he wrote it, directed, and produced it, and hence why he signed that big deal with Netflix. Hence why I want to grab him from Hollywood. That way he can work for my company, and I'll pay him more, and he can be the boss of my company, obviously. Help me co-write my Zayn script, if I hire him. You know, because Rian Johnson would have a lot of good ideas for my Zayn script, man. I have a lot of good ideas for a movie. I'm like, Ryan, I'm gonna tell Ryan, even like Ryan, I'm saying like I trust you. You're a talented screenwriter, but I don't want you pulling what you did for Last Jedi, whereby you want to make all these changes in my movie, and you want to split the fan base. No, Ryan, do not do that for Stannis. Otherwise, I'll be very, very pissed off. No, follow the story. Don't. You know what I'm saying, think about the fans. Follow the story. Don't try to make all these changes whereby it's going to split the fan base. The last thing I want to happen is have Last of Us be something different and weird, and I split the fan base. No, I don't want that happening. Like what happened for Last Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. And Ryan Coogler, I'll pay him. He's worth $25 million. I'll pay him a good $3 million signing bonus. That's good enough. And I'll pay him a nice $3.8 million yearly salary for the first year, $2.6 million for the other years, $250,000 post filming bonus, and you give Ryan Coogler 0.1% of the profits. It's a good deal for him. It's like $55 million, $60 million royalties, and you reduce it to 0.07 after if the movie does more. You know what I'm saying? He'll still make his $45 million in royalties, and he'll be the boss of my company, Ryan Coogler. You know what I'm saying? I'll make him the CEO of my company. He'll help me write my scripts. He'll help out my Peter Jackson and all them a little bit with the directing. He's gonna have to handle the business calls, obviously, and he'll be the boss of my company. And he gets his $250K royalty check. He gets all the perks, working in my nice studio office, the speaking figurines for the world tour, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Feige will not be able to compete with my offer. Yeah, sorry, Ryan, I can't compete with Ivan's offer, man. We'll pay you. I don't know, Ryan. We'll pay you $50 million for Black Panther 3. You know what I'm saying? Because he's desperate, obviously, and we'll give you a nice $50 million of the royalties. Ryan, sorry, Ryan, we can't compete with Ivan's offer. Ivan gives you a piece of royalties, we can't compete with that. His movies are going to gross way more than our movies. He gives you a nice 0.1%, you're going to make $40-50 million bucks. Kevin Feige probably makes around $25-30 million for the royalties. And yet, the amount of money I'm paying, Ryan Coogler for the royalties is even more probably than how much Kevin Feige makes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's a fat contract, man. Who you most likely to hire? I'll most likely hire Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, most likely. I think I'm going to click the best with those two guys over all the other guys. I can see myself clicking with J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, but Rian Johnson, the guy is just he's an interesting individual, man. He's a really weird person, kind of guy, man. Like the fact that he said that I want to make a movie whereby it's the worst movie ever made, and half the fans hate it, half the fans love it. It's a very weird way of writing stories. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that he did that for Star Wars, I'm a little bit I don't know what I'm saying. But the guy is very gifted. Obviously, he's a talented writer. Obviously, and that's why he'd be good for my company. Obviously, he would help me a lot with my Zayn script and all my other movies. J.J. Abrams is talented too. As Star Wars Force Awakens was actually a pretty good movie. It was out of the three movies, it was the best. It was the only movie that actually had a story. It had a build up of a story. It was a copy of A New Hope, like George Lucas said, obviously, but you had some story there. You know what I'm saying? Rey, she's a supposed nobody. Well, she's a nobody Rey is a nobody in what? Rey is a nobody in what? She's a nobody in Force Awakens. All of a sudden, she's a granddaughter of Palpatine by the what? By the third one. The whole thing's a mess, man. Yeah. Who did Palpatine have sex with? Who the fuck would have sex with fucking Palpatine? Who did he have sex with? Yeah, man. A lot of problems in the story. Yeah, man. But Force Awakens, you had some good story there. You know what I'm saying? It starts off with Finn. He's a trooper, obviously, and Kylo Ren. You know what I'm saying? Kylo Ren orders Finn to kill all the civilians, obviously, and Finn is conflicted, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He becomes good pretty much, and he what? He crashes into Jakku, obviously, and then Rey is what? She lives on her own in Jakku, and then she what? She sells scraps for money for food and all stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Finn crashes in Jakku, and she meets Finn, and the connection grows, obviously. They end up escaping. And the Millennium Falcon, they meet Han Solo, obviously. Some good build-up, obviously. And then Rey is awakened in the Force. So when she sees Luke's lightsaber, I don't know where that lightsaber came from. You know what I'm saying? In the Empire, Luke's lightsaber fell on the whole... I'm like, guys, this is Script 101. If you're going to tell these Star Wars stories... You know what I'm saying? Like, you think the Star Wars fans are fucking idiots? We're not stupid, man. If you're gonna make a Star Wars story, you gotta really plan out what you write carefully, man. Don't just come up with all these random theories of how... I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Luke's lightsaber fell on a hole. Somehow he got a hold of it. I don't know. Someone got a hold of it. I don't know how they got a hold of it, obviously. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then Rey sees a lightsaber, and she's awakening the Force. The awakening the Force part of the story is really good, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And then by the third movie, Rey is like invincible. She can heal. She can heal Kylo Ren and all that stuff. It's like, you know what I'm saying? She can heal. And who the fuck trained Rey? Yeah, Rey trained herself. So Rey didn't have a master. She trained herself. Like, who trained Rey? Like, you don't really get that buildup. Like, Luke barely trained Rey in the second one. He dies, obviously. In the second one, Rey is what? Rey is training in that island on her own. Whereas had I oversaw the trilogy, I would have had Luke been Rey's master, obviously, in the story. You know what I'm saying? The second one, he trains on the island. She reads the Jedi text. She's more knowledgeable in the Force. And by the third one, she's a badass. By the third one, Rey is like a Jedi guardian, and Luke is his master, yeah. And they're badass fighters, yeah. And Kylo Ren is also... You get flashbacks of Luke when he trained Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren when he was when he was good, obviously, before he turned to evil, obviously. Just like you had the flashbacks in Obi-Wan with Anakin, yeah, something like that. I would not have had Kylo Ren kill. I would not have had Kylo Ren kill Han Solo in the first one. No, I would have had Han Solo live. But I heard Harrison Ford wanted to be killed off for the first movie because what? Because he didn't want to do any more Star Wars movies anymore. And I would have offered him more money. Okay, Harrison, we'll pay you I'll pay you like $35 million more money just to be in the three movies, and he probably would have accepted, obviously. Yeah. Some Sarah. Holy shit, you crave. You know your shit. Yes, I'm born with a gift. Even though I'm not the best man to write a Star Wars screenplay, if I were to oversee the Star Wars project, I would do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? I'll do my due diligence, watch the originals, watch the prequels. That way you come up with some good parallel stories. You know what I'm saying? So in the originals, Luke brings his father back to the light side. In the sequels, you have the story of Rey bringing Kylo Ren. You have the story of Rey. She becomes a trained guardian Jedi, and she ends up bringing Kylo Ren back to the light side. He brings you know what I'm saying? Ivan, why does Kylo Ren come back to the light side? Because Kylo Ren has Anakin's DNA in him. You see what I'm saying? Because he's the grandson of Anakin. Hence why, even though Kylo Ren is evil, there's also some good in him too, obviously. And she brings Kylo Ren back to the light side, obviously. And Luke destroys the devil, obviously, who corrupted and tainted, who tainted Kylo Ren's mind, obviously. In other words, when you watch, this is something that you guys didn't catch. When you watch When you watch Revenge of the Sith, you notice how Obi-Wan and Padme, they tried to bring Anakin, they tried to talk some sense into Anakin a little bit. Because Anakin is not like the Sith Lord. Anakin was lost. He went to the dark side for love. He was evil, obviously, but he always had good in him, obviously. Whereas the Emperor, there was no hope for him. That's why Yoda didn't even waste his time trying to bring Palpatine to the light side, because he's evil. He's a devil, obviously. And Mace Windu wanted to kill him when in reality he should have had the courts vote. But he's too powerful to be kept alive. He owns all the courts. I am the Senate. Yeah, there's a reason why Mace Windu wanted him dead, because Palpatine was that dangerous, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Anakin, Obi-Wan and Padme, they talked a little bit of sense into him, because there was some good in him. There was a little bit of hope for Anakin. Well, there's no hope for the Emperor. He's a devil, man. He corrupted Anakin's mind. You know what I'm saying? He told him that if he went to the dark side, he can save Padme. When in reality, Anakin going to the dark side ended up killing his own wife. Yeah, she died because she lost the will to live, obviously. But Anakin choked her, obviously, because he was evil, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So I would have had a parallel to George Lucas' story. So you also have a similar story in the sequels. You have the story of how Kylo Ren went to the dark side, obviously. So the first movie, I would have had Kylo Ren evil, obviously. He's a Sith, obviously. But in the second movie, I would have had like some flashbacks. What was it like when Luke trained Kylo Ren when he was on the light side, and how he turned to the dark side? You have some flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? And Kylo Ren kills Luke's students, obviously, but Luke does not try and kill Kylo Ren. No, he tries to bring him back to the light, and Kylo Ren ends up killing his